In today's video, I'll rank Singapore debit cards based on their pros and cons, and at the end of the video, you will see a tier list of all the debit cards. So let's get started. To give some context, I'll only be covering debit cards from banks only. I have done my research and chosen 20 debit cards from 10 different banks that everyone, if not majority, will be able to acquire. Before ranking them, I will go through some of the benefits and requirements of the debit card and will rank them compared to all the other debit cards available. So without further ado, let's dive into the tier list. So over here, I have the 20 debit cards that I have chosen from 10 different banks. Let's first start with the DBS Visa debit card. This is a card that should be familiar to most people. This card gives you cashback on transport, food delivery as well as foreign spend. However, you have to spend $500 minimally and keep your cash withdrawal to less than $400. Because of that, I'll give this card a B. Next, let's go with the HSBC debit card. This card gives you 1% cashback when you pair with your everyday global account. There's no minimum spend and no requirements. Hence, this is a really decent card without any hassle. Hence, I'll rank this a A. Next, we have the DBS Union Pay Platinum debit card. This card gives you 5% cashback on Chinese yen spend, 1% on foreign spend, and 0.5% on local spending. There's also a minimum requirement to spend at least $400. Hence, this card is only really good if you're spending a lot on Taobao and paying in yen, or you are using it overseas. Hence, I'll rank this card a D. Next, we have the Passion POSB debit card. This card is good as it comes with a free Passion membership. It also gives you 1.5% cashback on U merchants. You also get additional cashback when you spend at least $300 on U merchant and $400 outside of this U merchant category. This is a must-have card if you spend often at U merchants. So I'll rank this card an A. Next, we have the DBS Takashimaya debit card. This card is only giving you cashback if you spend in Takashimaya, and other than that, this card doesn't offer you anything. Hence, I'll rank this card a D. Next, we will look at the DBS Safra debit card. This card gives you cashback on contactless as well as online. There's a minimum spend of $400. However, if you are in NS, you don't have to hit this minimum spend. You are also required to be a Safra member to get this debit card. But with the easy requirement and decent cashback, I'll rank this card a high A. Next, we have the Home Team NS Passion POSB debit card. This card is a combination of the Safra and the Passion card. This means that the card allows you to get the best of both worlds. The only downside is that you have to serve in the Singapore Police Force or the SCDF. However, ignoring the requirement, I will give this card a S tier. Now, let's take a look at the UOB One debit card. This card gives you 3% cashback on merchants such as Grab, McDonald's, Cold Storage, Shopee, 7-Eleven. However, there's a minimum spend of $500 and the merchant list being quite small. Hence, I'll give this card a C. Next, we have the UOB Ladies debit card. The good thing about this card is that you're enrolled in the UOB Dollar program, which gives you instant uni dollars. This means there's no minimum spending required unless specified by the merchants. There's also a handful amount of merchants under the UOB Dollar program. Hence, I'll give this card a A. Now at this point of time, looking at the list, I think I will drop the Passion POSB down to a B since I only get the 1.5% cashback at U merchants, which is quite small. Next, let us take a look at the Standard Chartered Platinum debit card. This card gives you 1% cashback with no minimum spending. Hence, it's really hassle-free, and I'll give this card an A. Next, let us move to the Bank of China Chinese Cultural Debit Card. This card gives you free access to library at China Cultural Center as well as 10% off performance ticket. But other than that, this card doesn't offer you additional benefits. This card is only good if you are into Chinese culture. Hence, I'll give this card a D. Next, let us move on to the Bank of China Zaobao debit card. This card gives you ticket privilege to selected event under SPH Chinese Media, as well as a 0.3 cashback if you hit $100 minimum spend with a minimum deposit of $1,500. With a pathetic cashback and a benefit that's only good if you attend events often under SPH Chinese Media, I'll give this card a D. Next, let us take a look at the UOB KrisFlyer debit card. This card allows you to earn miles but at a pretty low rate. You also need at least $1,000 to open an account. However, being a debit card that allows you to earn miles, I will give this card a C. Next, we have the OCBC debit card. This card gives you 1% cashback on selected merchants with a minimum spending of $500 required. This card gives you more merchants but lesser cashback compared to the UOB one. Hence, I will give this card a C. Next, we have the OCBC Frank debit card. This card gives you 1% cashback on selected merchants with a minimum spending of $400 required. It also comes with more than 60 cool card designs to choose from. With a lower spending compared to the OCBC debit card and more card designs to choose from, I will give this card a B. Next, we will move on to the Trust debit card. For those that don't know, Trust is a digital bank by Standard Chartered and Fairprice. This card has an interesting reward program which allows you to earn stamps at participating merchants. It is also good for over overseas use as there's a 0% foreign exchange fee. For local spending, you will get 0.5% cashback on Fairprice group spend and 0.22% cashback on others. The cashback is pretty pathetic. However, the interesting reward program is something that you should look out for. With that, I will give this card a rating of C. Next, we will move on to the GXS debit card, another card by a digital bank, this time Grab and Singtel. This card gives you instant rewards up to $5 if you spend at least $10 per transaction. The reward is random, so you don't really know what you are getting. This card also offers 3 color design you can choose from: white, purple and black. With the reward being random, this card is good if you spend a small amount just above $10. With that said, I think I will give this card a B. Now let us move on to the Maybank Platinum debit card. This card allows you to earn trip points for every $5 spending. These trip points can be changed for many different rewards. You also get more trips points if you spend in Malaysia. However, at the rate that you are earning the trips point, this card is not really worth the effort. Hence, I will give this card a D. Next, we have the Maybank Manchester United Platinum Visa debit card. This card is similar to the Maybank Platinum debit card. However, it comes with menu privilege. So this card is good if you are into menu and buy their stuff often. However, because it's a very niche card, I will give this card a D. Last but not least, we have the Citibank Debit Mastercard. However, I couldn't find anything related to this card. Hence, I won't be able to give this card a rating. Now, let me just look through the tier list to finalize the rating for the card. In S tier, we have the HomeTeam NS Passion Debit Card. This card deserves the S tier since it's a combination of the SAFRA DBS card as well as the Passion POSB card. In the A tier, we have the SAFRA DBS Debit Card, which gives you cashback on contactless and online with the minimum spending of $400, as well as the HSBC Debit Card and the Standard Chartered Debit Card. These both cards give you cashback with no minimum spending required. We also have the UOB Ladies Card, which is enrolled in the UOB Dollars program, giving you instant uni dollars cashback. In the B tier, we have the DBS Visa Debit Card, which gives you cashback on delivery, transport, as well as foreign spending. It's quite a niche card, but the cashback is pretty high. Hence, I think it still deserves a B. Next, we have the Passion POSB card, which is a good card if you spend often at EU merchants. We also have the Frank card, which gives you 1% cashback on selected merchants only if you spend at least $400. This card might be a low B or a high C. The only good thing is that this card has many designs to choose from. The GXS debit card gives you random cashback up to $5 if you spend at least $10. Hence, I think this card is good if you spend like above $10 but not too much. For the C tier, we have the UOB One debit card and the OCBC debit card. Both cards are similar in terms of ranking. The UOB One giving higher cashback but lesser merchant, and the OCBC One giving lesser cashback but with more merchants. The UOB KrisFlyer card is unique because it's the only card that gives you miles. We also have the Trust card in C tier. However, I think if you are spending at participating merchant, the Trust card can be an A tier card. This card is also particularly very good if you are spending overseas since there's no foreign exchange fees. Next, we also have the D tier card, which I will be talking about. Looking at this whole list, I think I'm quite happy with where I'm ranking the cards. So that's it for today's video. If there's any debit cards I'm missing or any card that you think should be of a higher or lower tier, do drop them down in the comments below so I can take a look. Hopefully this tier list gives you an idea of which debit card you should use. However, do take note that these are my own personal opinion. I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.